Netflix's Man on Fire tells a familiar story, raising questions about how it connects to Denzel Washington's 2004 movie of the same name. The answer might surprise you. Actor Yahya Abdul-Mateen II has gained a reputation for frequently taking on legacy roles. He played Dr. Manhattan in HBO's Watchmen TV show, Morpheus in The Matrix Resurrections, and Black Manta in the Aquaman movies. His newer role as John Creasy in Man on Fire is no exception. Abdul-Mateen is far from the first person to play Creasy. Scott Glenn played the ex-Special Missions agent in the 1987 adaptation of A.J. Quinnell's titular novel, though this version of the character has mostly been forgotten. More recently, Denzel Washington played the character in the 2004 film. The Netflix show has been repeatedly mislabeled as a remake of Man on Fire, and the idea of the series remaking the beloved movie has created skepticism from fans. However, the two projects are only tangentially related. Denzel Washington's 2004 movie is the second adaptation of A.J. Quinnell's book Man on Fire. The TV show uses the same source material, but it offers a different interpretation of the story. What's more, when director and executive producer Stephen Caple Jr. spoke with Screen Rant's Ash Crossan, he confirmed that they relied on not just the first book but also the second when expanding Creasy's journey. Having seen both the Denzel Washington film and the Netflix series, I can say they share the same basic DNA, but they also diverge significantly. The 2026 TV show in no way feels like a remake. Instead, the shared elements come from A.J. Quinnell's writing. Netflix's Man on Fire is based on A.J. Quinnell's first two books courtesy of Netflix. Rather than pulling from a single book, Netflix's Man on Fire incorporates narrative elements from both the eponymous 1981 book and the 1992 sequel, The Perfect Kill. This makes it different from both previous adaptations, which pretty strictly used the first book. John Creasy comes to a different country, like in the first book, but not to serve as a bodyguard. Instead, he is preventing a terrorist attack. The inciting incident for the Netflix series is much more similar to the second book than it is to the first. John Creasy's revenge story comes from a bombing, not a kidnapping. His only friend, Rayburn, dies in the incident. The Man on Fire TV show focuses on the relationship between Creasy and a younger girl, named Poe in this version of the story. Their relationship is a mix of the book characters' connection with Pinta from the original book and Michael from Book 2. He's protective of her, and they have a friend dynamic. However, he also trains her to cope with the high-stress environment and defend herself, to a small degree. The second half of the show also features bits and pieces from both books, but any further explanation would include significant spoilers. As such, I'll refrain from elaborating. That being said, you can learn more about the twists in my Man on Fire ending explainer. Despite all those parallels to A.J. Quinnell's books, Netflix's Man on Fire still introduces fresh character motivations and storylines. For example, John Creasy is trying to protect Poe from harm throughout Man on Fire, not get revenge after her kidnapping. Poe's personality also doesn't fully match either of the younger characters in the first two Creasy books. She's much more headstrong, rebellious, and emotional. Netflix's Man on Fire team respected Denzel Washington's 2004 movie. Even though Netflix's Man on Fire isn't based on the Denzel Washington movie, that doesn't change the fact that they had respect for the previous adaptation. In the interview with Crossan, Caple expressed excitement about the hidden Easter eggs referencing the late director Tony Scott and the 2004 movie. Similarly, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II told the LA Times that he is a fan of the 2004 movie. He told them the love that Caple and Abdul-Mateen have for Denzel Washington's 2004 movie shows just how impactful the film was. Critics may have rated the film Man on Fire poorly, but it's still adored over 2 decades later. What's more, the Netflix show's team knew better than to completely replicate Denzel Washington's movie, allowing for the new Man on Fire to be judged on its own merits instead of non-stop comparisons.